Hi everyone, we are the Raccoon Tycoons. My name is Vincent, and I'll be going over the webpage associated with this project, while my partner Tiana will go over the ArcGIS experience associated with this project in the latter half of this video. I like to begin by going over what urbanization is. Well, urbanization is a phenomenon where significant populations gravitate towards and settle in compact zones, which ultimately give rise to cities. This can be evident through various establishments across Canada that you may see as cities. Specifically, Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal are Canada's three biggest cities with lots and lots of urban development. Some concepts of urbanization include urban sprawl, which is the expansion of urban areas into rural areas, and urban renewal, which is the redevelopment of urban areas. Now over here we have a map of urban land classification within the Toronto Census Metropolitan Area, or the CMA for short, from 1971 to 2021. If you would like to view different parts of the map, you can hold left click and drag the map around to view different layers, parts of the layer I mean, and you can click plus to zoom in closer to the layer to view these shapes in greater detail, and you can click minus to zoom out for a broader extent. Over here, if you click on this button, the legend will be exposed and will give you information as to what each layer means and whether if you want to toggle their visibility or not. As you can see, the blue is the 1971 classification of urban land, whereas the purple is the 2020 classification of urban land. Clearly, you can see there is a huge expansion of urban land within these last 50 years, and this can be attributed to urban sprawl and urban renewal at the same time. Over here, I have a description of the map for greater insight and association towards urbanization. Now we may ask, isn't it good that our cities are growing? Well, yes, economic development and cultural diversity are two great aspects of city growth that can be attributed to urbanization. But we have to admit that environmental degradation and social inequality are negative concepts or outcomes associated with urbanization as well. In fact, I like to highlight environmental degradation within this video. Over here we have a description that describes the environmental effects of urbanization, such as traffic density, environmental pollution, habitat loss, loss of agricultural land, soil degradation, and deforestation. Down here we have a map of the Ontario Greenbelt, which depicts the natural and protected areas of southern Ontario. So if you click over here, you can actually see what these are. So for example, we have towns and villages that are situated in these natural areas, hamlets, specialty crops, valley connections, parks, and of course checking these and unchecking these will allow you to toggle the visibility of each layer to allow you to view them separately. And over here, of course, you have a description of the map that provides further insight and connection to the concept of urbanization. Now, I have outlined how urbanization can be bad. So how can we actually prevent urbanization from prevent urbanization from being a negative occurrence within our cities? Now, we can actually think about smart growth, which is a sort of development ideology associated with urban areas that allows them to be more sustainable and environmentally friendly. Mixed-use development and transit-oriented development are two methods of development associated with smart growth that may be used in such methods. Now, if you'd like to read more about the team who contributed to this project, who consist of Tiana and myself, you can go ahead and read our biographies here. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy the second half of this video.
Welcome to our Experience Builder Urbantario. So the purpose of our app is to physically show on a map the urban growth in Southern Ontario over the last 50 years, as well as which areas in Ontario's Greenbelt are susceptible to future development. Users will first be prompted with a splash screen, which can be closed using the OK button. And as seen in the paragraph, users are told to hit the information icon for more information about the app. When the splash screen is closed, users will see a map which shows Toronto census metropolitan boundary, as well as the settled areas for 1971, which is in the blue color, and 2020, which is in the pink color. Users can interact with different widgets on this screen, but I will talk about that afterwards. First, we're going to click on the information button as first mentioned in the splash screen. This information widget will open a sidecar with information which can be closed with the arrow or with the information button. Here there is just a summary of urbanization in Southern Ontario as well as Ontario's Greenbelt. It also talks about what the widgets are used for, and as well as what map layers are available for the Greenbelt, since they are not automatically opened when the app is first opened. So first we'll click on the map layers icon, and here there are multiple layers in relevance to the Greenbelt. So there's Greenbelt towns and villages, which will show up there. There's also Greenbelt hamlets. These are settled areas that are not developed yet. There are specialty crops. There are river valley connections, provincial parks, municipal parks, and lastly, Greenbelt designations, which just shows the different regions of the Greenbelt and why they're protected and what the protected names are. I will leave these on for now, and of course these can always be toggled on and off depending on what you'd like to see. Next is the legend panel, which shows what layers are currently open. Again, when they are toggled on and off on the data layers, these will appear and disappear. There's also a search button where users can look up an address in this region. We also have zoom buttons here, so users can zoom in and out to see all of the data. We also have a home button that brings users back to the home map extent. And lastly, users can click on different data to see what they represent. So if we click on here's a green belt designation, it'll show information about it. Or if they want to click on a municipal park here, it'll say the name of the municipal park. And again, users can just click on the home screen and they'll be prompted out of this right away. There's also, on the top right, there is an embedded link for our Urbantario website, which has more information about urbanization and its impact on our environment.